Tonight we are talking about process people, y'all. Process people. We're talking about process people, and like I said last week, we talked about individual people. Oh wow, my bishop's on the line. Fred Lawrence, good to see you. What's up, Dad? I know that's. I don't think that's my brother, but we talking about process people and people who are the kind of people who are like, listen, I need to know all the preliminaries before I leave the house. I need to know everything about what is it we're going to do. Even if we have a picnic, I need to know everything that we're going to do. No matter what it is that we plan to do. And here's my coworker coming in now, Bars. No matter what it is we plan to do, listen, I need to know all the preliminaries. Let me ask you a question. Anybody in our audience tonight, anybody in our community, do you feel the same way? Are you that type of dude or person or lady who says, listen, I got to make sure that I know all the ins and outs, all the outs and ins before I make a move. So I'm just trying to see and make sure that everything is going well in the background. But yeah, y'all. So this is what we're talking about tonight. We're talking about blue people, process people, people who have patience, unlike greens, unlike reds, unlike yellows. Yellows are kind of patient at the same time too. But yeah, we're talking about blue people who really know. They said, listen, they argue a lot because they say, our world can be a better place. I think my coworker's on now. I don't know why I don't see him. Pardon, I don't see you showing up. It's like a black screen. But yeah, a lot of times, y'all, you got people who are not only well processed, but they feel that the world could be better if there are people who would just take the time out to think about what they're going to do so that they can do it the right way. A lot of us rush, a lot of us run, a lot of us do a whole lot of things, right? But at the same time, we always mess up on some type of way. Like even tonight, I got me some good Spanish food, y'all. Oh my God, it was good. It killed hunger. I had better, but it killed hunger. And I'm working on my equipment and my brother and everything. We just good and we just chilling. And for some reason, I had envisioned. I said, you know what, Donald, just be aware and remember, that you have your light box with you, and when you set it down, that you don't mistake the light box for your food. Pick the food up and walk out and forget the light box. Well, I thought that to myself as soon as I got to the actual store, right? And guess what happened? That's exactly what happened. I'm walking and my brother talking to me and saying, yeah, man, so look, you sure you don't you need me to help you in that like that? I'm like, no, I'm good. You don't need to help me. I'm good. I'm good. He's like, yo, you sure? I said, I'm good, man. And all of a sudden I was like, wait a minute. I realized I only have one bag. I got my book bag or my backpack, but I don't, wait a minute. I'm supposed to have it. I was like, oh my God, my light box. He ran for me and everything, you know what I'm saying? And I got the lights. That's why I'm lit up now. That's why we lit. But at the end of the day, you see, if we just take the time out to think about what we're going to do before let me just check this and double check that, double check this, double check that, and you'll be good. By the way, June, what's going on? Williams, good to see you. You know what I'm saying? I'm sending everybody waves. Sending everybody waves. Thank you for liking and sharing your page, by the way. And again, I miss everybody. I miss just being on each week. I look forward to seeing everybody. So look, if you see me cough a little bit, it's not COVID. I'm just with this asthma stuff. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I saw the doctor. You ever been to the doctor? You ever been to the doctor and the doctor's like, listen, I'm so sick and tired of looking at you because you're fine. You just got to make sure you take your medicine and pump your pump and be good. And I'm like, all right, cool. And so I was hoping that my partner would be here tonight because at least I'll get a breather. But I know y'all going to help me out tonight. So look, let's get into this. And I know he's having some technical difficulties. By the way, our material is coming from a book called Nuts and Bolts, written by Mr. Neil Serborn. And Mr. Neil Serborn is somebody who he helps us out because not only does he help us out, but he helped everybody out to shape and frame the temperature, rather it's in your community, rather it's in your business, your household, individual person. He helps us to understand how to put our attitudes, how to put our thinking, our wording, our listening in perspective so that we can help accommodate other people. Remember this, we are not always those of them who always go by the golden rule. We know the golden rule in the Bible is do unto others what you would have others do unto you. But in this case, not that we're taking anything from the golden rule and or the Bible at all, because we know exactly what it means, because we're taking it from a practical perspective here as to where you treat others the way they really want to be treated, And when we talk about nuts and bolts, it helps us to understand we don't really want to be selfish. Selfish. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to be selfish at all. You want to make sure that, you are helping other people. Whatever you do, you're thinking about other people, and not everybody want to be loved. We understand that. Not everybody want to be helped, but it should never change your character, which is the reason why We come and we refer to this book. Now, I'm not teaching you everything out the book because a lot of things are also by way of experience. And I don't know if anybody have ever remembered or remembered the different classes of people that we had shared with you, such as red people, individual people. Just to go back, and I'm not giving you templates tonight. I don't want my secretary to get on me about some of the misspelled words. But then you got blue people that we're talking about tonight, about process. And then you got green people who are always about speed. They're like, listen, look, just tell me where it is. I don't want to know nothing else. Tell me which way we got to go, and that's where I want to go. But then you got yellow people, and like all three, who are about harmony, collaboration. They're about relationships. They're about whatever you want is what they want. I can talk about that real good because that's who I am. But I want to, excuse me, I want to talk about this blue, because blue, they're unique people. They're about logic. They're about facts, structure. And I'm gonna tell you something. When you take a look at facts and you take a look at structure, you take a look at logic. Some people would say not everything is logical. But the logic in any situation is if you get a chance to just think about, what you can do to make a situation that can potentially become a problem better, you know, you want to go back and make sure you evaluate even when you walk out of the house. Well, do I have my keys? Do I have my my merch? Do I have this? Do I have that? Like I told you minutes ago, I left my light in the store, and I'm not going to tell you how much it costs, but thank God for my brother who got the light. So let's take a look at this. You take a look at, logic people, you take a look at blue people. Blue people, they are the kind of people you'll get them upset if you make a simple mistake sometime because they realize you haven't thought anything through. That's number one. And it makes them frustrated, makes them frustrated. They love being able to know exactly which way we're going, how we're going to get there, when we're going to get there, who's going to bring us there, what's going to happen when we get there, what time do we leave, and when we leave, what time are we expected to get back. They want all of the preliminaries straight off. They want all of the preliminaries, and they believe in structure. And that's not just about, oh, my coworker's here. Wow. That's not just about what's going on, bro. Can you hear me? Can you see me? I'm sorry, y'all. I just wanted to make sure he can come in. I still seems like he's freezing. And so at the end of the day, they're the kind of people that they are about structure. They're all about structure. They need structure in their life. And you have to explain to a blue all of what you mean. Now, I'm gonna tell you something, not to compare the colors tonight. So I want to stay on blue, but let's take a look at reds for a second, who have vision, right? They're visionaries, and they seem to be self-centered because they're in their own bubble. Let me ask you a question. If there anybody here in this community who what, I'm the person that if I come up with an idea, I don't need to be around everybody because I just don't want everybody to just interfere in my thinking. So like while the cake is in the oven, you don't want to make too much noise. You don't want it to drop. And so you're a visionary. And then not only are you a visionary, but you want to pursue the very thing. And I think my partner's in now. You want to pursue the very thing, that you see. A Jewish person said, look, if you want to reach for success, if you could think it, then you could do it. I always tell Jewish people, well, then it's already done, because if I see it, it's done. When you see it, you got to see the end of anything before you begin anything. And sometimes it doesn't work like that all the time, but you got to see at least the end of what it is that you want to, get to, so that when you come back to the starting line, now, you have a reason, you have a why, you have structure, you have logic, you want to know the reason why, but the big thing about it is that when you want to explain, what your vision is, explain, what you want to do and how you want the end result to be. Blue people are like, listen, I understand you got vision, but you got to explain it detail for detail. Why do you want it like this? Who do you want it for? Why do you want me to be a part of this? And where do I fit in? They need to know detail for detail. And sometimes, hey, what's going on? And sometimes you might think that blues are becoming sort of kind of like sarcastic, but they're not. They just need to know to be able to process it in their mind, to be able to process everything in their mind. So again, that's why I love this book. And I'm gonna tell you something. I want to share something with y'all real quick. And I'm gonna put my hat backwards, so I can stay drippy like my brother over here. You know, they I love what the book says. It says, when do they feel most proud? Or when do blues feel like that they're most proud of themselves? And I mean process people, you know, and that is when they plan. They love planning for everything. They if they could get a chance to plan, if you got a birthday party coming up, and my brother's like that too. If you got a birthday party coming up, they love to plan. All right, we got to get this. I want to call this person because they can make macaroni and cheese. This person can make the chicken. I don't want nobody else making the lasagna except that person. They know how to put things in perspective, and they're like, look, they just love planning. That's the stuff that make the most proud. So that anytime you have an event and you're walking down your list and you're thanking everybody for the beautiful place and parking and the food. But then at the end of the day, out of the honoree's mouth, he's like, and I want to thank brother or sister or my friend or my brother for just planning the whole thing. That's what make a blue proud. To be able to put everything together, get the people, the list of the people, get how much plates we need, get all of the tables. What I'm saying. John Arrington said that's a fact. They want to know everything. You want to know why? I'm gonna tell you why. Because blue people, even though they're not green, they don't like wasting their time. Let me ask you a question, and let me regress for a quick second. I'm listening to a brother. He's an Asian guy. His name is Christopher. I got to get his last name. He says, let me ask you a question. What happens? Oftentimes they tell people that time is money and money is time. He says, what happens if you treat your time like you treat your money? Right? And I'm going to talk about this again when we talk about greens, but again, we're talking about process and how you have to take your time on certain things. He says, what would you do? Let me make sure. He says, what would you do? What would you pay for in life that would afford you more time so that you won't have to, have to do certain things that would keep you away from the most important thing you want to do? It's a beautiful thing, everybody, that, for you to be able to go and do something, right, that you love and get paid to do it. Baby brother John Arrington's on the line right now, and I'm gonna tell you something. This guy's doing crazy. By the way, look out for his film. It's fire. And the reason why I'm saying this is because he took his time out to do it, and this is something that this is his own company. When you do something that you love, and you can get paid for it, and not have to worry about anything else, you would want to get to that particular thing every single day. Let me tell you something, y'all. I work a secular job every single day. And I make sure that I don't rent out too much space in my mind for what it is that I'm planning on doing according to my own company, and allow for me to have all of that space, to be rendered into that. But here's the deal. I know that when I get home, I got to think about certain things. What do I have to think about? I have to think about what is the very thing that is too time consuming for me. What is the thing that's too time consuming for me? Because some people say, you know what, let me tell you something. If I could pay somebody to do my laundry while I still work at what it is that I need to do, the thing that I've thought about, the thing that I'm thinking through would afford me more time to do it, and I love blues. And then here's another thing. Somebody said, well, if I can hire somebody, if I could put my money on something, I would hire somebody to cook. Because if I can hire somebody to cook, let me see what some of y'all say. If I can hire somebody to cook, that would afford me more time when I get home to continue to work on the very thing, write my book, work on my stuff, Oh, my coworker's here. All right. I'm saying? Work on my stuff so that I don't have to worry about losing time, Yeah. Absolutely. Sherry says one thing seems to hinder the other. When people are trying, to trust the process, sometimes we got to trust the process, and again, that's why patience is a virtue, patience is a virtue, y'all, and I'm gonna tell you something, and that's one thing that blues possess, and that's the reason why they're like, no, we will not go no place. Partner, you ready, son? We will not go no place until I find out all the preliminaries, because I'm a planner. Well, look, y'all, I'm gonna bring in my coworker. What's going on, sir?
Wow, what's going on, family? What's going
Yeah.
on, bro?
Yeah, I'm up here.
In
Look,
there.
I know you in there, man. Yo, I started our session, talking about our blue people, and how they love to plan, So Partner, you have to just dive right in and jump right in. You feel what I'm saying? Because we've already started session, And again, I'm glad for social media and thank God for Wi-Fi. But at the end of the day, I'm grateful for when technology actually come together. But again, like I was saying, what I'm saying? You know what I mean?
Thugging it
so
out
what I
today.
was
I'm
saying,
standing, but it's all good.
It's all
I
good.
had to get that perfect signal.
Absolutely. So like I was saying, everybody, real quick, and Partner, I want you to hear this, and I'm sure you've been hearing backstage, that if you can take your money, and if you can take your time, if you could treat your time like you treat your money, what would you pay for, that would allow for you to have more time to process the things that you want to do in life, that's going to grant you great prosperity. You know what I'm saying? So we plan things, right? So for me, if I can get somebody to do my laundry, that'd be good timing for me, so I can continue to process the stuff that I want to do. Yo, Partner, let me ask you a question, because you are blue. You know what I'm saying? What would be the very thing that you would actually pay for, so that you could afford yourself some time, and it'll give you like a head start for you to just continue to work on whatever it is that you're working on according to your endeavor in life. Share with us.
That is a great question, man. I mean, I'm a blue when it comes to receiving information, and I definitely love a well-executed plan. What would I pay for? See, that's tricky, because I don't trust a lot. So what could I allow somebody to do for me that would give me more time?
Take it the fact that you could have safe atmosphere, and trust. What would you pay for? Huh? Oh, yeah, I thought you said something.
Somebody to, I guess, help me organize better.
There we
help
go.
me manage. I probably pay for a manager.
Okay.
I pay for a manager to keep me organized and keep me up to speed. Because sometimes, as a blue, I could be all over the place with my facts. So I would like to pay for somebody to help me keep my facts in order, to save me a lot of time. You know what I'm saying? So I can work smarter, not harder.
There we go. Absolutely.
I usually put a lot of thought into my process because I'm a blue, and sometimes I can overthink it.
Now that was my next.
So I might pay for somebody to just tell me, "Hey, don't overthink that."
Yeah.
Don't overthink that.
Because when you overthink some things, you start to second guess everything that you want to do, right?
At times you can, yes. Being a thinker, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? And Robin said, if you shortcut the process, you shortcut the product. Wow, that's crazy.
And that's exactly. That's actually a great response.
Sherry said that. Yeah, that's my elder. She said that. Yeah, say it again. What you said?
Okay, that's a great response, and that's exactly why I said I'm kind of iffy. I don't think I would want to pay for somebody to. It seems like the things that I would want to pay for are the things that are most important, that I probably need to be on top of. Is somebody trying to build a business, doing my best to focus on my new endeavor.
Right.
I think everything is intricate, because it's allowing me to become stronger. So it's a tricky question. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I guess cook. I give it a shot, because I can't have nobody managing my business right off the top. That's what I mean. It's not about an environment when I say trust. It's about, will you do it like me? Will you execute the plan like me?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that's where my blue comes in. So I guess I'll just have somebody cook. If I could pay for something, my meals, I don't want to ever have to go out for that. Drinks, so potentially an assistant or something. Yeah. So if I can take my answer, that's where I'm going with, D.
Hey, listen, I love it. That's awesome, because at the end of the day, I guess the whole idea and the purpose is to be able to be fast forwarded to, the very thing that you want to do, that you're passionate about. James Hunt, good to see you, bro. That you're passionate about. And that's what process people all about. They're all about timing, but they're also about patience, but structure. They're all about the logic. They need to see the logistics about it. And it's a beautiful thing. And I think that blues are very much needed in this world. Not over all the other individuals, of course, but they're very, very important in this world. And somebody got a plan. Somebody's got to plan it right. rather than jump out. Sometimes, you know, you got some people who are like, you know, we want to do this, we want to do this, we want to do that, and then they want to do it tomorrow, you know. But you started tomorrow without any plan, it's going to flunk. And that's why I love my friend Sean Cannell, partner, always says, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So,
absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? You know, so structure is very much needed in any endeavor. You'd agree that, you know?
Yeah. Yes.
Structure is needed in any endeavor, you know? We need to have structure to know why this makes sense with that, why that makes sense with that, why that makes sense with that. And some things need to make sense to a particular person who never understood your thought system. You feel what I'm saying? You know,
sure.
So that when they do follow the map, so to speak, you know, they could understand, okay, I see why he or she took me this way because of, you know. Now, partner, while I'm here, let me regress for a quick second, because can I go back to a red for a second? Because we just recently talked about reds, right?
Right.
You know, and which as we talk about,
I fit in there too.
Yeah, there you go. So as we talk about structure, you know, and we talk about the logistics and stuff like that, you know, we're also talking about how, you know, if a blue is someone who would map out the route, right? Obviously, they'll sit there and tell you about specific rules, about the stuff that the places or the areas you shouldn't go if we want to talk about direction, right? You know, and obviously, you know, a blue would understand if I give defined direction, I want for people to understand why they have to go that way. But now for red decided to come around, right? And they're not constrained to rules, right? And stupid rules at that. And we talked about that. And I want to refresh some of our memory about that, bro, about who determined what a stupid rule actually is when it comes down to rules and structure, right? Because we do know that Krispy Kreme, they have, even though they sell donuts like Dunkin' Donuts, they may not have the same rules that Dunkin' Donuts may have according to their individual store and or place. You got what I'm saying? So sometimes there are certain places that might seem to be a stupid rule. You know, if a person show up, if they didn't understand why that rule was given in the first place. And I believe that while we're in the blue vein, that if I would assume that if a person could not read why that person made that particular rule, you know, and especially if it's not clear to them, they will consider it to be a stupid rule, as to where blue is like, no, it makes sense according to our culture right here, because if you step over there, you're going to get hurt. You know what I'm saying? It might be stupid to you now, but you keep coming over here and you'll understand why we did it, you know? So again, you know, when we talk about rules and we talk about structure and we talk about logic, you know, we understand that there are things that are not considered to be stupid rules when you take a look at the result. It's in everybody's result that will allow for people to determine if it is a stupid rule versus a rule that's fruitful, you know, and good for everybody else's benefit. You know what I'm saying?
Correct.
So logic, you know, logic is important, but structure to a blue is important. And we know, like we said, we do know that a blue's very, very happy when they're able to plan something. They love to plan. Like my wife would know. I don't like planning. Anybody in our community, y'all like planning? Anybody like? Cause see, for me, you're right. You like to plan? You're a blue. But
nah, I'm a blue when it comes to receiving new information. But I don't necessarily like unless it's about something very important. If we're going to hang out or just some you know, a regular day, I don't necessarily, let's go. I'm a spontaneous type of person. That's why I feel like in my spirit I'm a red. I like, you know, the newness that may come and how to adjust. It really depends on the situation. If it's a project, then yes. What's the plan?
Right. You know, exactly. And so, like for me, my wife know. Excuse me. My wife know if we're gonna go take a trip, I like to just give the money, but I want her to go, you know, on the computer and get the tickets and find out the reservations and all that stuff. I can't do it, man. That's not just, I don't have no pay. Even when we planned our wedding, I was like, yeah, well, look, I got about 6 or 7 people. You know what I'm saying? You could do your 200 people, you know? But yeah, man, you know, I just, you know, that's not me. So if I could, you know, treat my time like money, you know, I would probably say, listen, I would probably be in an administrative area like yourself to say, listen, I need somebody to help me organize. That's why I'm grateful. Shout out to Robin, by the way, Robin Holmes.
Shout out to Big Sis. What's up, Robin?
Bars, sis. She's in the back, you know what I'm saying, spitting bars, you know. And so she says she's a spontaneous, you know, and like planning trips. You know. So yeah. So again, you know, it's all about what could you do? You know, what could you think about? So like tomorrow, I know there's a whole bunch of things that I have to do, you know, but at one time I used to write a to-do list and a to-done list because I was thrilled with the idea of doing it. You feel what I'm saying? But now I gotta use it. It's no if, no buts, and whys about it. I don't know if I'm too happy with that, right? I don't know.
But to do and it's a done list, break that down, man.
Yeah. So whatever you have to do, right? Tomorrow, like whatever you did today, you know, if you completed all of whatever tasks that you intentionally planned, you know, during the day, whatever it was in the beginning of your day should have been on a to-do list. And I always oftentimes tell people, whatever you write on your to-do list, don't clutter your to-do list because you don't want to do so much stuff that you can't get the job done. So I like to do at least 3 or 4 things, you know, maybe 2 big major things and then maybe 2 small minor things, you know, so that I can fulfill my to-done list, you know, so that at the very end of the day, I can check off, I plan to do this, now that's done. I plan to do that, now that's done. Plan to do this, now that's done. Plan to do this, and that's done. And you know what else I do after that? Celebrate. Never forget to celebrate what it is that you've accomplished during the day. Because if you're a logic, you know, and I'm talking to our community now, partner, if you're a logic, if you're somebody who believes in structure, you know, if you're somebody who believe in, you know, having a particular structure, a groundwork, then listen, don't forget to celebrate the stuff that you plan to do that you wrote to done, you know. Let me teach you another business aspect of also life. And I know my elder on here, and I know Robin's on here, and you know, they've heard this before, but they haven't heard it in a long time. You know, some things that you probably maybe in life, there's some things that you might not finish, you know, from your to-do to your to-done list. So what you do according to your to-do list, let's say, for example, you started something that you wanted to do, but there was a stumbling block that caused you not to fulfill it, you know, but then you go on to the next day. Oh, wait, you know what, partner? I feel like I'm giving a particular lesson here, you know?